The OIST Promotion Corporation was established in 2005 by the national legislation for which former Minister of State for Okinawa and Northern Territories Affairs, Ms. Yuriko Koike, played a critical role. The OIST Promotion Corporation built OIST into a prominent member of the global scientific community.
2005年に沖縄科学技術研究基盤整備機構が法律によって設立をされました。この点につきましては、当時の沖縄および北方対策担当大臣でいらっしゃいました小池百合子先生には多大なご尽力をいただきました。どうもありがとうございました。また、この基盤整備機構によりまして、OISTが著名な科学者の皆さんのお仲間に加えていただくということができました。
The Promotion Corporation took plans that were on paper and they transformed them into talented staff, buildings, and research infrastructure. The leadership of the Promotion Corporation, Dr. Sidney Brenner, Dr. Robert Bachman, were indispensable to this undeniable success.
また、この基盤整備機構が実際に紙の上に載っていたような状態の計画から実際の例えば才能豊かなスタッフ、そして建物、そしてリサーチのためのインフラストラクチャーというふうないろんなものを形にする役割を果たしてくれました。その PC 基盤整備機構のリーダーでいらしたシドニー・ブレナー博士およびロバート・バックマン博士、このお二方がこの成功には本当に必要不可欠な方々であったと申し上げたいと思います。
Special mention should be made of the extraordinary dedication of the principal investigators and the staff of the Promotion Corporation. Many are the accolades and awards that they have received. We note the most recent honor, the Order of Culture, conferred on Professor Yanagida for lifelong contributions in a ceremony at the Imperial Palace earlier this month.
それからまた私どもの主任研究者の皆様方、そしてこの機構のスタッフの皆様方の献身にも大変尽力をいただいたことを感謝申し上げたいと思います。その主任研究者やスタッフの多くの方々は多くの賞を受けた我々にとっての勲章のような存在であると考えております。またその最近の受勲の一つの例として柳田先生が長年にわたる貢献に対して文化勲章を最近お受けになられまして、今月上旬に皇居での受勲の式を終えられていらっしゃいます。
Amongst the myriads of challenges that the staff have taken on, the effort required to get accreditation for OIST as a corporation and a university ranks as a crowning achievement.
スタッフが乗り越えなければいけない幾多の課題がございましたけれども、その中でも機構のOISTが学園として、それからまた大学院大学として認可を受けるということが、とにかく最重要の課題としてランクされておりました。
The Ministry of Education played a key role as the objective evaluator of our ability to operate a school corporation and likewise a graduate university. The experience of examination for accreditation has been of great value to OIST in recognizing fully what is needed for us to operate a Tier 1 university. We are most pleased to have with us today the Deputy Director General from MEXT, Mr. Hitoshi Nara. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Nara.
また文部科学省におかれましては、客観的評価人として私どもが実際に大学法人を運営できる能力があるのかどうかということをご評価いただき、また同時に大学院大学を運営する能力についても評価をいただきました。このように認可審査を受けるということは私どもにとって非常に価値ある経験となりました。なぜならば第一線級の大学を運営するにあたって一体何が必要かということをその認可の審査の過程で十分に理解することができたからでございます。今日は文部科学省から奈良仁審議官にご臨席を賜っております。感謝申し上げます。どうもありがとうございます。
We received many messages from people who are not able to be here, but who are celebrating with us today. I appreciate those messages, including those from former Cabinet Secretary and Minister of State for Okinawa and Northern Territory Affairs, Mr. Yukio Edano, former Minister of State for Okinawa and Northern Territory Affairs, Mr. Sumio Mabuchi, the member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Mikio Shimoji, Member of the House of Councillors, Ms. Keiko Itakozu, President of the Federation of Japanese Private Universities and University Associations, Dr. Atsui Seike, Chancellor of UC Berkeley, Robert Bergenau, and other political and business leaders and university presidents.
実は今日お祝いはしてくださっているんだけれども、体がどうしてもこちらにいらっしゃれないというご列席いただけない方が数多くいらっしゃいまして、そのような皆様方からは祝辞をいただいております。でたくさんいただいておりますけれども、何名かのお名前だけ読み上げさせていただきますと、前内閣官房長官、沖縄および北方対策担当大臣の枝野幸男先生、そして元沖縄および北方対策担当大臣の馬淵澄夫先生、そして衆議院議員の下地幹夫先生、参議院議員の伊藤和恵子先生、そして日本私立大学団体連合会会長の清家敦会長、および UC バークレーのチャンセラー、およびその他政治ビジネスの世界のリーダーの皆様方から頂戴しております。
Charles M. Vest served as president of MIT from 1990 through 2004 and is currently president of the National Academy of Engineering in the United States. Dr. Vest earned his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from West Virginia University, his MS and PhD degrees from the University of Michigan. He is the recipient of 10 honorary doctoral degrees.
次にご紹介申し上げますのはチャールズ・ベスト先生です。1990年から2004年までマサチューセッツ・インスティテュート・オブ・テクノロジーの学長をお務めでいらっしゃいまして、現在はアメリカの全米技術アカデミーの会長をしていらっしゃいます。またベスト先生はウェストバージニア大学で機械工学のバチュラーの学位をお取りになり、その後修士号と博士号はミシガン大学でお取りになっていらっしゃいます。そして10の名誉博士号を受けてもいらっしゃいます。
Dr. Vest has worked to bring issues concerning education and research to broader public attention and to strengthen U.S. national policy on science, engineering, and education. He has a long and distinguished record as an extremely effective advisor to the public, private, and academic sectors, both in the United States and across the globe. Amongst the many issues that he has championed are the importance of global cooperation in education and research and the need for stronger ties between academia and industry. I know of no better person to speak to the global and local relevance of the OIST Graduate University than Chuck Vest. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Charles Vest to the podium.
ベスト先生は、教育とそれから研究がいかに重要かという問題につきまして広く人々に認識をしてもらうという分野におきまして長きにわたりご尽力をされていらっしゃいます。そしてその結果アメリカの科学工学および教育の国の政策を強化するということにご尽力をされていらっしゃいました。そしてまた公的部門民間部門そしてまたアカデミックな部門におけます効果的なアドバイザーとして長く輝かしい記録をお持ちでいらっしゃいます。そしてそれは米国国内のみならず世界中でそのような評判をお持ちでいらっしゃいます。またそのベスト先生がいろいろとご活動なさっていらっしゃる中で特に重要なこととして先生がおっしゃっているのはまず教育研究における国際的な協力の重要性それから産学連携の強化の重要性について非常に擁護的な発言をしていらっしゃいます。ですからこの沖縄科学技術大学院大学がいかに世界中にとってそれから地元にとってありうべき組織であるかということをご説明いただくにはベスト先生以上に素晴らしい方を考えつかないという状態でございます。ですので私ベスト先生を次にお招きするということを大変光栄に思っております。
Dr. Best will deliver his words in English. There is a translation in Japanese in your bags. So, Dr. Best.
ベスト先生は英語でお話になりますけれども、日本語訳はバッグの中に入っておりますので、どうぞご参照になりながらお聞きくださいませ。
Minister of State for Okinawa and Northern Territory Affairs, Mr. Tatsuo Kawabata, Governor of Okinawa, Mr. Hirokazu Nakayama, the OIST School Corporation Board of Governors, the OIST School Corporation Board of Counselors, President Dorfin, Ona Village Mayor Mr. Fumiyashu Shikiya, distinguished guests, OIST staff, ladies and gentlemen. I am very honored to be here in Okinawa for this grand inaugural ceremony. There can be no doubt that Okinawa, Japan, the founding boards, the faculty, Dr. Brenner and President Dorfin are setting off on a bold and important journey. We have every reason to believe that in due course this new university will pay strong academic, cultural, and economic dividends to the nation and prefecture. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, that I served for 17 years, was established 150 years ago. It was founded to be a new and different kind of institution to serve the purposes of the emerging industrial age of the United States. Similarly, the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology, OIST, has been established in the dawning decades of the 21st century to be a different kind of institution to serve the purposes of the emerging global knowledge-based economy and interconnected world. In the mid-20th century, we all spoke of a brain drain. The implication was that many of the brightest and most energetic young men and women from all over the world emigrated to the United States or Western Europe, where they found the most adventurous and well-funded universities in which to study or become faculty members, especially in science and engineering. These immigrants also became entrepreneurs and corporate leaders in their new country. But as we moved into the 21st century, we entered the current era of brain circulation. This means that bright young people now move around the globe, studying or doing business in many different countries that present opportunities to them. In this spirit, OIST is building a truly international faculty. They and their students will serve the needs and meet the opportunities of Okinawa and Japan, but they will also be global citizens. This is very different from the insular national context in which MIT was founded 150 years ago. But I think that today we are at the beginning of an even more exciting phenomenon that I call brain integration. By this I mean that researchers, students, and entrepreneurs all over the world are linked together by the internet and World Wide Web, and they will all soon have access to massive computing power through the so-called cloud. Increasingly, communities of scientists, engineers, and others in many different locations around the world will integrate their thoughts with the data and analyses of large-scale computation to solve big problems. I believe that this brain integration will characterize the age in which OIST will begin to make major scientific and technical contributions to humankind. Now, do the concepts of brain circulation and brain integration imply that location no longer matters? Absolutely not. Where universities are located still matters. University campuses will not become obsolete just because the world is interconnected by information technology. This is true for at least 3 reasons. First, teaching and learning are profoundly human activities. Machines can and will enhance these processes, and they will make vast amounts of information available, but the magic that happens when students and scholars live and learn together will not be replaced. It will be greatly enhanced, but not replaced. The second reason that location still matters is that each university will develop its own specific infrastructure for experimentation and analysis. One of the great promises of brain integration is that expensive equipment will not have to be duplicated on many different campuses. Rather, they can be shared in global collaborations. The third reason that location still matters is that universities exist in cultures. I find it especially exciting that OIST will have a truly unique cultural setting. It will join together a spirit of distinctiveness and boldness in Okinawa and the Ryukyu Islands with the ancient values and disciplines of Japan. And to this mix, OIST will add contributions from the West and from a cross-section of the Austronesian cultures. But to further explore why establishing a world-class university oriented to science and technology here in Okinawa is important, let me share some thoughts about the purpose of research universities. I believe the purpose of research universities is to create opportunity. A central objective is, of course, to provide opportunity for their graduates. Because of their education, they will have the opportunity to become productive citizens, to do interesting and important jobs, and to pursue the life of the mind. But research universities also provide opportunity for business and industry. They do this by providing well-educated and well-trained employees. But even more profoundly, through their research, they provide ideas for new products, new processes, and new services. Here again, location matters, because face-to-face interactions of faculty, students, entrepreneurs, and business leaders can generate a synergy that is critically important in doing things that are new and that can be successful. My friend and colleague Desh Deshpande, a very successful Indian-American entrepreneur, has taught me that successful entrepreneurs are people who understand the needs of real people and who have an appreciation for what will and will not work in a given culture and location. Finally, the flow of people and ideas to and from research universities provides opportunity for prefectures, regions, and nations. This is the opportunity to enhance economies, security, and quality of life. But here I add one caution. Patience will be required. It is very difficult to plan and predict exactly how and when a research university will advance the economy of a region. In the U.S., no one planned Route 128 around Boston, and no one planned Silicon Valley. They emerged because universities like MIT and Stanford brought smart, innovative, and adventurous faculty and students together, and because they developed strong interactions with local business people and companies. MIT and Stanford share a critically important characteristic. In them, the most fundamental research and scholarship exists side by side and in mutual respect with highly applied and even industry-relevant research. In due course, OIST should strive for a similar balance. As academics, we generally think primarily of the flow of new ideas and technologies from our research universities to companies. But studies show that there are other reasons that universities attract startups and other forward-looking businesses to their vicinity. These universities help to provide an attractive intellectual and cultural environment that improves quality of life for companies and their employees. They also tend to stimulate improvement in educational quality at all levels in their communities. In addition, they provide a stimulating and neutral venue where scientists, engineers, and business leaders can discuss topics of mutual interest. Research shows that these factors are very important to companies when they decide where to locate businesses or laboratories. OIST will invent its own unique features and approaches as a new research university of the 21st century. Nonetheless, I suggest 6 basic lessons from the experiences of the research university of the 20th century that a new 21st century university in Okinawa might wish to consider. The first lesson is that teaching and research must be intimately intertwined and must be assigned equal importance. Teaching and research are inseparable, and it is their synergy that defines the essence of a research university. Many years ago, Frederick Terman, then the provost of Stanford University, was asked whether he wanted Stanford to be a teaching institution or a research institution. He answered that he wanted it to be a learning institution. The research university of the 21st century must also be devoted to learning in this broad sense, learning through discovery as well as learning through teaching and exploration of the past. In the long run, making universities exciting, creative, adventurous, rigorous, demanding, and empowering environments is far more important than the specific details of their curriculum or research program. The second lesson is that the quality of a research university can be no better than the quality of its faculty. The faculty defines the research university. The research university of the 21st century, therefore, must strive to attract, nurture, and empower the very best professors. This essential task of building a world-class faculty will require commitment, fortitude, patience, and adherence to high academic values as well as aspirations. Some well-experienced, excellent senior professors can and are being hired at OIST, but in the end, it is also important that young faculty grow up through the ranks of the university. Lesson 3 is that science can flourish only in an open environment. Science languishes in a closed environment. The free flow of people and ideas across institutional and political boundaries is essential to the functioning of a great university. The very process of conducting science requires that others challenge one's hypotheses, independently verify the results of experiments, and validate theoretical conclusions. Science cannot be done in isolation. And of course, interactions among scholars, scientists, and engineers who have diverse perspectives and varied experiences leads to creativity and innovation. Such interchange is the very essence of a research university. Maintaining an intellectually open environment requires a high degree of institutional autonomy and protection from political or ideological forces. Lesson 4 is that it is essential to give great freedom to new young faculty members to study and teach what they believe is important. They should not function as research assistants to senior professors. The wisdom and perspective of senior scholars is important, but most dramatic new insights and innovations come from brilliant young men and women. But with great intellectual freedom comes equally great responsibility. Thus, faculty, even early in their careers, must always be held to the highest academic standards, especially through the evaluation and constructive criticism inherent in the peer review process. The freshness that comes from young faculty and from the continual flow of students to the institution is key to a great research university. Lesson 5 is that competition among universities to attract and retain the very best faculty and students, and competition among professors and research groups in the free marketplace of ideas engenders excellence. Such interinstitutional competition may at first seem expensive, inefficient, and complicated, especially because today's research universities compete on a global scale. Nonetheless, competition drives improvement in research, teaching, educational policies, working environments, facilities, and most importantly, in ideas and people. Great professors attract great students, and great students attract great professors. Lesson 6 is that fundamental scholarship and research must exist on an equal plane with applied research and innovation. I emphasized this point earlier. As we enter the 21st century, we are very aware that research universities create opportunity for nations and regions through the transfer of technology and innovation to the marketplace. Industrially relevant work is increasingly important, and an environment that is entrepreneurial also gives relevance to education. However, there is a danger that in our rush to solve practical problems and transfer technology to industry, we could lose our bearings and forget the still more profound purposes of universities to discover truths about nature, celebrate ideas, and advance the human spirit. We must not allow universities to become overly utilitarian. Universities are places where ideas must be exchanged, evaluated, and integrated. Even in a university like OIST that is centered on science and technology, fundamental, curiosity-driven research conducted to discover truths about nature must play a central role equal to that of research that is applied more directly to industry and to the solution of major problems facing humankind. Both pure scholarship and applied research must be conducted with mutual respect. Both must be valued. Both must be subjected to the same rigorous standards and should be informed by each other. We live in an age characterized by two opposing trends: integration and fragmentation. Because of modern travel, commerce, and communication, all regions and all people of the earth increasingly are linked and integrated. We are also linked and integrated because we inhabit a single planet. We share its thin and fragile environment. We share its ecosystems and its finite resources. We are linked and integrated by a common desire of people everywhere to live peacefully and in good health. We are linked and integrated by our common curiosity about the world, the universe, and each other. We are linked by the knowledge and understanding developed by many people in many places in many periods of history. Yet at the same time, forces new and old cause us to fragment, to divide ourselves along fault lines of culture, history, geography, misunderstanding, and fear of the unfamiliar. Those of us gathered here today share a common belief that the dominant trend of the age must be that of linkage and integration, not fragmentation. We believe that education, learning, discovery, and creation of opportunity will bind us together and enable us to collectively build peace and prosperity and to face the challenges of living together on this earth. We believe that knowledge and its wise use will elevate the quality of life all around the world. We believe that science and technology can play a central and indeed essential role in this quest. For these reasons, we have much to celebrate as the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology is launched on its journey into the future. In this knowledge age, the research university of the 21st century can and must be a great force for enlightenment, for integration, and for prosperity. The research university of the 21st century should not flourish only in one nation or on one continent or in one region. It should grow and spread its good works in all regions and on behalf of all people. I congratulate President Dorfin and salute the forward thinking of the people of Okinawa and the Japanese government on their bold and visionary establishment of this new 21st century institution. OIST has been born and will be nurtured in Okinawa. It will benefit Okinawa strongly as the years progress. But OIST will also serve the world as a global institution in this age of brain integration. I wish all of you good fortune on your journey, and I look forward to observing the opportunity that OIST produces in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chuck, for that rousing endorsement of the goals, the precepts, and the role that the OIST University will play in global education and research and in the flourishment of Okinawa and Japan. You have fittingly brought this formal portion of the inauguration to an optimistic and an enthusiastic close. I want to thank all our speakers and all of you in the audience for attendance here today, for your rapt attention, and for coming from near and far to help us celebrate this auspicious occasion.
まずベスト先生にはこの沖縄科学技術大学院大学が世界の教育と研究の場に果たし得る役割、それから沖縄振興に対して果たし得る役割について鼓舞するような激励するようなお言葉をいただきましたことを心より感謝申し上げたいと思います。 そしてその言葉によって明るい未来を俯瞰するような熱のこもった感じでこの式典が終えることができるのを本当に感謝申し上げたいと思います。それから今日ご祝辞をいただきましたスピーカーの皆様方、そしてご臨席を賜りました皆様方にも今回このような形で臨席をいただいたことを感謝申し上げますし、またご清聴に感謝申し上げます。そして共にお祝いをしてくださるために遠くからわざわざこちらの地までいらしてくださった皆様方にも心より感謝を申し上げたいと思います。
And celebrate we will with entertainment and merriment in the central court. The rain gods have decided to hold off, and we can repair to the central court to enjoy some 12 minutes of entertainment. So I ask you to join together in the tents in the central court as a celebration of this wonderful day. Please hold your seats for a minute.
お祝いをさせていただきたいと思います。こういうおめでたい場所ですので、明るくお祝いをしたいと思っておりますので、センターコートの方でお祝いの出し物をやりたいと思います。雨の神様が私たちに味方をしてくださいまして、ちょっと雨を止ませてくださいましたので、ちょっとここでセンターコートの方で皆様方に20分ほどのエンターテインメントをしたいと思います。
I need your cooperation. Please allow me to escort out our speakers first, and then let's empty this room before we empty the rooms 209 and 210, so that the guests here can get to the tents, and then orderly people from 209 and 210 can join.
ちょっと順番がございますので申し訳ございませんが、まだお席で残っておいていただけますでしょうか。まずはスピーカーの皆様方ご登壇いただいた方々から退席いただきまして、その後でまずこのお部屋から出ていただいて、その後で209号室、そして210号室という形で順番にセンターコートに皆様方をエスコートしていきたいと思います。ちょっとお待ち願いますでしょうか。
Please follow the crowd and join us in the center court.
そしてこのお部屋の皆様方はどうぞこれからセンターコートに皆さんと一緒に移動なさってくださいませ。